Good morning, everybody. I am Paul Brody. I'm the global blockchain leader at EY. It is Friday morning. I had a good night of sleep last night. I had a lot of caffeine this morning, and then I opened up my email and I read that we have been awarded a new patent this week for our blockchain security technology. So we are off to an excellent day, and excellent start for today. Today is our technology focus day. So we have an incredible lineup of speakers and presentations today. We're closing the day actually with one I really want to recommend, which is Karen Scarborough from BP. She's going to talk about how to build a DAO and use privacy technology for private voting on a DAO. It's going to be awesome. She's batting cleanup at the end of the day. Before we get all the way to that point, we have a bunch of amazing presentations, and in keeping with our technology focus, we have two brilliant members of the EY Global Research and Development team who are going to be our co-hosts today. And before I introduce them, I just want to say one little thing, which is one of the things I'm really proud of at EY and really appreciative of our fellow partners, because EY is a partnership, which means that all the partners in EY are effectively investing in our blockchain business. And with blockchain, we did something that we really have never done before, which is we spent very serious money over the last 6 years on research. Mathematicians, nuclear physicists, brilliant people who focus on building great game-changing technology. And we have donated the output of that research into the public domain. Right. So if you want to use, for example, the core technologies of Nightfall, Nightfall 2, Nightfall 3, those are on our GitHub repository. They are free, they are open source, they are public domain, and they are the result of many years of work. And I want to introduce as our co-hosts today, two of the people who have been heavily responsible for that groundbreaking work in math. And they are Dr. Duncan Westland, our global head of research and development, and Miranda Wood, who is a member of our math team. And she is one of the key architects behind Starlight, which is one of the most important projects we're working on to enable blockchain privacy. So they're going to be our co-hosts today for blockchain kind of privacy and technology day. And it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to hand it over to them. Duncan and Miranda.
Morning, Paul.
Yes, good
Thanks very much.
Yeah, the introduction. All right, well, first up, I think we have Antoni, so the co-founder of Polygon Hermes and Polygon ID. He's leading the enterprise team. I'm looking forward to it. Duncan's coming.
Yes, so Tony and I've had the pleasure of working with Tony for the last 9 months or so. We've had a great collaboration with Polygon on Polygon Nightfall. Polygon have committed $1 billion to the development of ZKP, which is just amazing. That's a really game-changing amount, and I think will catapult ZKP into the mainstream. And Tony is going to tell us a little bit about their thoughts on that and what they're doing. So Tony, when you're ready, perhaps you'd like to give us the benefit of your thoughts.
Okay. Thanks, Duncan, and well, thanks for this warm introduction. Exactly. I mean, the idea is that when I joined Polygon after the merge with Hermes, I mean, what we have seen is that in order to become mainstream, we wanted to be more than only DeFi and gaming, and is where we bet to open our solutions to enterprise. Okay, meaning governments and big corporations. Use cases that all of us, we already know, as supply chain, as sport, entertainment, also cities. And here, in this sense, what I'm really happy is about the openness and the collaboration that since I arrived was established with the team of EY. Okay, I think here there was a common vision that together we were able to reach out customers to develop better solutions. I mean, the good thing is obvious. You are a highly skilled team. Also, you have direct contact with customers. I think that's really good. And in our case, we are the infrastructure layer who tries to scale Ethereum. That's what I will try to explain now. But I think that this combination, and yes, especially after that, the good relationship and the cooperation environment between both companies, I think it has been very fruitful, and luckily we have been able to develop Nightfall. That is what we will explain today. I go to the presentation, and exactly, I mean, here, what I'm not able to see the presentation. Maybe it's me or it's for everybody. Okay. Well, as you can see, what we defined is that there is a problem of 50 trillions in global blockchain. I mean that means that there is a huge requirement from the industry to find out a solution for this problem. I mean, it's not a minor problem, and it's something that we are working really hard. We are trying to fix it, and at the same time, the day that we are able to do that, we will unlock a lot of potential. Also, what we have seen is that private blockchains are not a real solution. I mean, I worked for 17 years at Deutsche Bank, for example. There we were working with R3, Corda. I mean, that's not relevant, but well, the important thing is that we have seen that private blockchains where you need to trust the others, where maybe somehow at a certain point an actor can manipulate data, it is something that it's not reliable in the long term. And by the other side, okay, just the opposite are the public blockchains, and there we have the problem that data is public. Your competitors they can somehow access to your transactions. They can figure out which are the deals that you are having with your partners, and this is something that obviously was not scaling at all. Then with this in mind is when we decided, especially with your ideation, in fact, you have already done Nightfall 1 and 2, and we created this third version of Nightfall with the scalability of that Polygon provides. Okay, then in this case, I mean, what we have seen is that we wanted a solution that was able to provide privacy for the transactions. Then what we have done is we have, on top of optimistic rollup, we have taken all the solutions from all the ZK solution that you were defining now from the team of Hermes, and we were applying that on top of the optimistic rollup. With this, what we have achieved is that the price of the transactions has been reduced dramatically. Also, thanks to this leverage on the Ethereum network, is decentralized, is more, and as it's a layer 2 solution, is more cost efficient. This gives us also a higher scalability. And as we defined, and when we were thinking in this first POC, we had always in mind the industry chain use case. I mean, this is something that was in as a focus during the development of this tool. Then, which are the key benefits? What it makes this solution different than others? Okay, later on we will see that for example, Polygon as a scalability solution has different options in the shelf, but what we are really proud from this one specifically is that it gives confidentiality. I mean, all the transactions between two actors, only the receiver and the sender are able to decipher the content of the transaction. This is especially important in order to ensure this privacy that we were defining. Also, at the same time as is working on top of Optimism rollup is 8 times faster, which it makes it more convenient for this kind of industries. At the same time, as it's a layer 2, and you were suffering that for sure in the past with version 1 or 2, is that maybe one transaction was $100. Now it's by far cheaper, and also this gives predictability. This makes that the settlement is more accurate, is faster. You can store all the data, all these transactions because you can compress it, and they are cheaper. And at the same time, and all this structure relies on top of Ethereum. It makes it more credible, more secure. where that is one of our, the transparency is one of our ethos, part of our ethos. No, this is the reason, as I said before, that if you rely in private chains, maybe you are not able to obtain. And thanks to this solution, this feature is also part of the product. Okay, but then once we have this, which are the use cases? Why the industry, or why the customers of EY, or maybe also customers that we are speaking in the business development team in Polygon, they can reach out. The first one, as I already defined, and maybe is our main one, and one we are very focused on, this one is related with supply chain. I mean, here there is you need traceability. This could be very important. You can imagine millions of transactions with containers on health, on agriculture, different sectors where maybe with a combination of EOT, we should be able to ensure traceability, authenticity, also that it's coming from a guaranteed place with good labor regulations, for example. Also, this helps a lot on data reconciliation, which in some cases, when we are speaking of millions of transactions, it can be very, very difficult. All this reliability on the settlements, and at the same time, it makes that it's affordable because it's cheap, or with a control price, and at the same time, it absorbs all the amount of transactions. A very clear second use case is related with NFTs and the marketplace. I mean, here, as the transactions are private between the sender and the receiver, you don't need to show for which amount are you selling your NFT, whatever, but the transaction is done. It can be proved that it has been done, but without disclosing the data. That is something very, very critical for obvious reason, especially because maybe with your vendors you have a different relationship, or with your customers, and this gives you this layer of privacy. Also, a third feature that is very important is that as there is a part of a mixer, this anonymizes the transaction, and then it makes very difficult for third parties to trace the withdrawal or the deposit of a certain amount of tokens, which is also helping to ensure this level of privacy. But as I have said, and we have been spoken about this the last days, also last Thursday when I presented also in New York, I mean, this is only the beginning. It's true that now we are in the beta stage of this product. Nevertheless, we are already thinking about how, once this become a full product deployed, maybe next September, October, but then how we implement that in different verticals, in different industries, and at the same time, I mean, we have other options also in the future. It's not that the Starlight it will be the continuation of this project, but it's that somehow our aim also as Polygon is to work together in these projects once we have seen the good level of collaboration between both entities. Okay, then what a lot of people was asking me these days when I was in with customers, also once we have met the industry, is okay, but what is currently in the market that you can compare with? I mean, why Nightfall is different? No, I mean, it's a mixer like Tornado Cash. It's a layer 2 that you are keeping in a closed environment like Mina. And no, then with this slide, what I wanted to reflect is what I have explained in the previous slides. I mean, there is one part of a mixer. Here we can compare this with Tornado Cash. Tornado Cash also, which is good, is that it was done on Thircom. Thircom is the language that we use precisely on the zero knowledge part of Nightfall also. I mean, this was developed by our technical guys, this language. I mean, this is giving us this show, which is the level of cutting edge technology that we are using, because maybe the more known mixer in the market is using exactly the same technology, and we are applying that here. It's a private coin, okay? Not exactly, but there are some features of Zcash that we can apply on Nightfall. This is a closed layer one, as I said. Well, no, but it's true that it gives you a certain amount of control. Luckily, you don't need to spend the hundreds of dollars that maybe you need in one of these layer ones. Also, what they don't have is the fact that we rely on Ethereum, this level of security on the more battle-tested network in the world. In this sense, okay, there is a layer of privacy. There are solutions on layer 2, like Aztec, Zcopru, but for example, Aztec, which are brilliant guys, I mean, amazing technicians, but maybe they are more focused on pure privacy, not in this level of transactions and payments that we are trying to ensure. And finally, there is a part of a wallet that it gives a very good UI to our customers that we can compare with other solutions in the market. With this, what I'm trying to say is that it's a very complete solution. I mean, I think it has very good features from each one of these different solutions that one by one they are great. But here we have been able to create something that is able to cover all these fields, and that we think that with the knowledge, with the customer knowledge of EY and the adoption that already Polygon has. I mean, it's the platform with more users and transactions right now. It seems like the perfect mix to trigger a lot of new adoption on big corporates due to all these different characteristics that are part of the product. And what also, and Duncan has said that before, is that what Polygon has done in the last year is a very huge bet on ZKP, zero knowledge proof. Okay, I mean, at a certain point, there was a fight to scale in Polygon, in Ethereum. Sorry, almost last March, 1 year ago, 15 months ago, it seemed that the winner or the platform more adopted was Polygon. At that time, I was not there. And it's not that I'm trying to make some kind of advertisement. But the truth also is that what they saw is that in order to maintain maybe this pole position, they needed to bet on the best possible technology to scale. No, as Polygon by definition is a scalability platform. Okay, then with this in mind, they decided to go for zero knowledge proof and others and other solution, like obviously they are continuing developing POS, also Polygon Edge. That is another kind of network. But now we will speak specifically about the zero knowledge proof solutions. Here, obviously, one part has been very focused on private. In fact, there is one specific team that is led by David, and that is working together with Duncan's team. And as we see, Nightfall is a perfect solution, as I will repeat myself, but for low cost and private transactions. It's perfect for private payments and this application on enterprises. It gives this privacy and confidence. There is a second solution that is the one that we created in Hermes almost 2 years ago, and we merged with Polygon last August. And this is the first ZK rollup totally compatible with EVM. Okay, what this means? It means that any smart contract that you are able to run on top of layer 1, you should be able. It will be a copy paste. You can take it, and then you should be able to execute it in layer 2. Okay, this will make the smart contract cheaper or transactions, but more important, we think, is that it will take out a lot of the current smart contracts that are running on layer 1. It seems that layer 1, at a certain point, also with the solution of Nightfall, it will remain like a notary service, like a capsule time where you will send a hash of your transactions, and it will be like a notary service almost, where you will add this stamp to prove the validity of your transactions. But exactly, we think that with this solution, a lot of dApps, they should be able to run on this layer 2 in a more cheapest way, and this should also accelerate adoption. The third option, or the third team that it was absorbed, is Polygon Zero. They are also brilliant guys from California, and the good thing from these guys is that they are able to run the fastest proofs in the world. Okay, thanks to some mathematical calculations, and with this, obviously, the finality is reduced. They have the fastest proof in the market. Here, for when you need to handle extreme volumes, you need high performance, then this could be a perfect solution for the future. Okay, I haven't said that the idea is that we deliver Polygon Hermes in test in a test environment in July. And Polygon Zero, maybe we are speaking about end of the year, beginning of next year. These are our expectations. And the third part is Polygon Maiden. Polygon Maiden is Bobin, is one of the most brilliant Stark developers in the world. I mean, he's really, he's an expert. He has helped. Here, also the good thing that we are creating, and you can see that these 4 teams, they are working very closely together somehow. I mean, there is interaction, for example, with Nightfall, because it's part of the team that was from Hermes. Hermes Zero and Maiden are speaking a lot. And then, and I think this permeability is very good for the environment, because my feeling, and I'm saying that more as an outsider, as a person who is on business development, but speaking with them, these kind of interactions at the end are these synergies in a positive way are creating still a better product. And this is what happened with Maiden. He will create a virtual machine compatible with Ethereum. This will be the last rollup to be deployed. Speaking maybe about 1.5 years. In the meantime, nevertheless, it's true that he's helping a lot the other teams to improve. But in the future, it should be the more flexible solution, the one that gives more development for private transactions due to the Stark that is running on top of this platform. And I think with this helps you to understand why we are betting so hard on the different rollups, why each rollup is different, but at the same time, why there is a lot of complement. I mean, they are complementary somehow, and there is a lot of transfer of knowledge, which I think is really important. Also, the feedback that now we will receive from Nightfall, from the enterprises, is something that for sure we will apply to the other ones, and we will try to always create the best possible solution for each one of the customers. And yes, as I was explaining before, I mean, Polygon was created 3 years ago, is betting very, very, very hard on ZK. Nowadays, I mean, this number is already obsolete, because we are already, I mean, it's growing almost exponentially. We have already 20,000 dApps on top. We are the platform with more customers and users. The good thing is that it's a very stable price of the token. In fact, the more transactions, the lower will be the price, because the business model of Polygon is to have transactions. I mean, when people is asking me, okay, how much are you going to charge me? Why are you doing this for me? No, the only thing that we are interested is that we have transactions on top of the platform. This is what is the revenue model, and this is what is helping us to grow in the future. I mean, as I said, we try to be always very compatible with Ethereum, with EVM. We are betting, or we are the preferred platform for NFTs, games, DeFi, but at the same time, we want to grow an enterprise, and always with scalability in mind. And when people is asking me, okay, but which are the benefits, what it makes Polygon different than other platforms, I think this is, we have repeated this concept during this presentation, but I want to set it in stone. One is that it is compatible with Ethereum, the scalability, we have all these different solutions, the security that the layer of Ethereum is providing to us. Also the fact that, as we have seen with Nightfall or with a specific rollup, you can have somehow a certain amount of sovereignty. I mean, you control the data. That's always important. We are interoperable by design. I mean, we think that we should liaise with other platforms. I mean, as nowadays you don't have only one bank, for sure in the future you will operate with 3-4 different platforms, then you should be able to transfer your assets depending on what you need in each moment. One of our main challenges is related with user experience. All of us that we have been in this world for some years, we know how difficult can be to operate with an ERC20 token. And as I say, for me, the target is that my grandma is able to buy in the supermarket with a stable coin in maybe in the smartphone and a wallet. But well, we have still a long journey here, or some work to be done. For us as Polygon, I mean, we are very focused on developers. They are the ones who trigger the adoption. Therefore, also this is also embedded in the DNA of Nightfall. We are trying to create good SDKs, good tools for technical people from the companies, but also to developers to create, to integrate and to set up the right tools. And also this modularity, where you go to the web page of Polygon, you start to integrate some tools, and you can grow your level of integration also according to your knowledge. Then I think with this, I gave you a global overview of what represents Nightfall for us, what is Polygon, why exactly Polygon Nightfall is so important for us. With this, any question, please let me know. Happy to answer.
Okay. So Tony, we actually have quite a few questions. So I'll take them from the top if that's all right with you. Now, the first one, we have a very august audience today. This is from Stanford University. And the question is, hi, you showed in the previous slide that optimistic rollup is used, but my understanding was that Nightfall uses ZK. Could you please help clarify? Thank you. Now, Tony, I would normally direct the question to you, but we have Miranda in the studio who actually did the thinking around this. So, with your permission,
yes, I'm sure she can answer better than me. I agree.
I'll let her take it then.
All right, I'll try my best. Thank you. Yes, so Nightfall uses ZK actually for the privacy element and optimism for the rollup element. So privacy is enabled by zero knowledge proofs, but it's not used for scalability. The optimism side is used for scalability. So technically it's a ZK optimistic rollup rather than a ZK rollup or a ZK rollup, for example. I won't go into too much detail because later today, actually, we have a talk on the more technical side of Nightfall at the end of the day. So I hope that answers your question, but if not, we can come back to it at the end of the day. Great.
Okay, so the next question is how does EY earn revenue from Nightfall? Is it a mixture of the implementation of the solution and recurring usage fees? So Tony, I'm sorry, but again, that's probably a question for us to take. Now to be clear, EY does not earn revenue directly from Nightfall. It's an open source project. You can download it, you can use it. There's no fees for using it. EY is an audit firm. EY makes its money from auditing companies. We have quite a big business in the crypto space. So things that increase the usage of crypto are really to our advantage. We also provide some software as a service as well. So you can use that. I think I'm right in saying we don't charge for that at the moment. But from Nightfall, no, not directly. That's not what we're about here. We'd much rather build a market. Okay, and the next one. Can you talk about any example from supply chain industry? Is there any use case from the logistics industry that you can share? Tony, do you have any thoughts on that? I know Miranda had a comment.
Yes, well, here, yes, I mean, some of these use cases are below NDA for obvious reasons, or we are still developing. But I say at a certain point, no, agriculture, where, for example, a grain of coffee, how it goes from the plantation to your cup of coffee. No, you can imagine the whole process. Also, containers in harbors for ships, or healthcare, all the system. I mean, all these. I can tell you, or I can say that almost, I mean, these industries are very, blockchain is a perfect fit for them, especially if it has privacy on top. We have been approached by almost all kind of use case or verticals that you have in mind related with blockchain, with supply chain. Then, yes, we are already speaking with them. And here, as I said, if this happens, I mean, this is a business, it's a world that is moving 50 trillion transactions per year. You can imagine how much work is there to be done. Also, it will involve Internet of Things. But yes, we are very optimistic, and we are really reaching out these customers. I don't know if Miranda, you want to add something.
I was just going to say that actually yesterday from EY, we had a talk on traceability with privacy by Federico and Jamie. So if that's up online, it would be good for the asker to see that one as well. So yeah, plenty out there.
Right. I think we just have time for one more quick question, which is, what do we think transaction costs and settlement times on Polygon Nightfall will be after the merge?
Well, this is something that we are discussing. As I said, I mean, the last numbers that I had were that they were 6 times better than that, or cheaper than currently are in Ethereum, and 8 times faster. This gives you a rough indication. But nevertheless, the good thing is that this technology is evolving a lot. Okay, and one example is that we have reduced in the ZK rollup, and thanks to these guys of Zero that I described, the finality from 15 seconds to 3 seconds. Okay, and I'm sure that in the next months this will still reduce more. Then, for this reason, it's not. I don't want to give a final number, because this is continuously evolving. And as I have said, what we discover in some of the other projects, for sure we will apply that to Nightfall. They are part of the family of Polygon, and we will try our best. And as I said, I gave you some numbers, but this is evolving. I want to highlight that also.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Well, Tony, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time to tell us all about Polygon's strategy here, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for your time. Thanks for the invitation. I mean, looking forward, as I said, after now is the beta deployment, but looking forward to September, October for the final one. And exactly, we have a lot of use cases with enterprises, and looking forward to a further implementation. Thanks.